Welcome to Handykam.com. Today we're going to talk about the whopping 4MP HD bird box camera or bird of prey camera. This is a beauty. This is one we've been selling a lot of Hikvision or Hikvision, as they say, cameras for over many years. We've with a lot of our systems that go in them, and they're just getting better and better. This particular one is the one we configure. We do all the setup, and everything else is pre-configured and ready to go by us. So when you get it, you can either have it with or without a box, but we just had to do a video on it just to show you all the features. We look at many cameras and technologies and brands around the world over 10 years, and to be honest, the new IP ranges coming out now are phenomenal. They are not only are they getting more powerful, but they're getting more flexible, and the compression's getting a lot better as well. So with this particular camera, it's a 4MP HD IP with audio and infrared. So it's full color during the day, with infrared at night, and it's got audio. So it's a fantastic all-around camera. As I say, we supply it, we can pre-configure it, we get everything ready for you, and that's only at handykam.com. It's supplied by Hikvision, now one of the, well, if not the biggest camera and CCTV company in the world, with a huge development program on improving the technology with newer and new models. This particular one is the 535 FWD, and there's many other models, but this particular one is the new fancy one with the XIR calibration on it, and we'll explain about that in a moment. So overall, this camera is really good, high quality, versatile IP camera. IP camera meaning that it connects straight into your router or recorder, like an NVR, which is short for network video recorder, or a switch, which basically is just a junction box, and you can access it on any device. So the idea is that you put this into your nestbox and plug it into your router, and then you can access it on tablets, mobile phones, and anything, and also remote access as well, so you can show friends and family wherever you are. They are perfect for nest boxes because the focal distance is very short, and we modify it so you can allow to refocus. They are perfect for nest box use, for raptor boxes, feeder cams, outdoor cameras. The camera itself is outdoor rated, so you can actually use it as outdoor. Out of season, you can use it outdoors. You can put it on a feeder or bird table or anything like that. It would give you fantastic results. Now the areas of the camera, as you can see, it's fairly small. The build of it is unbelievable. The plastic and the moulding is really done to a high finish. Slightly textured, non-shiny finish. It's got a metal base and a plastic cover with a very clear and normally unmarked, wonderful dome. So clear. They also give you a little cloth which you can also clean at any stage. So that's a really nice touch. As you can see, you've got the dome, you've got the camera itself, and you've got the infrareds on either side, and we modify these just to reduce the strength and make the picture a lot more a lot more smoother. So basically with that you can easily mount that into a box, point it down. The camera itself on the side has got a little tiny mic, built-in mic, but it's also got external mic capability. So, and as you can see here, you've got sort of all the connectors and whatever you want to do. I'll explain a bit more about that later. So the quality of the camera is a 4 megapixel, a whopping 4 megapixel IP HD camera. That's giving you an unbelievable resolution of 2688 by 1520. Now that resolution can change. You can change it. The beauty of the camera can transmit on 3 separate streams. Now the reason for that is historically you have separate streams, so if you're viewing on a device that's either very low in transmission rate, or it's got very little memory, i.e. phones and on a very slow connection, you can actually use this to transmit at different rates. So then you simply pick up those streams rather than having to compress a full HD on the fly and trying to view it. It'll simply trip it up. So this was really versatile. So it allows you to use it on different platforms, view it on different things, without sort of affecting the vision. The IRs are really quite powerful. They go up to 10 meters. They are two 850 nm infrared IRs. They give a very faint glow. They're not as high as the 950s, 960s. The 850 nm is fairly visible. Also, we modify them so that they don't distract anything. The really nice thing is the camera films full color during the day, and then it when it gets to a certain level, there's a sensor and it switches over to infrared, so you don't have to physically change that. However, it's got software on there. You can actually turn the infrareds off if you want to, or have it on a timer switch or between certain hours. The really neat thing is inside, as I mentioned, that it's using the XIR technology. Now this means that when the camera is mounted in a box and your subject is very close, on most cameras you get because of the infrareds and it's dark, you get over whitening. Well, this camera adjusts for all that, and it auto compensates that. It looks at the whole picture and then adjusts the qualities of the picture to match it. That's the new XIR technology. It also goes to 0.00 lux, really low light, so you can have it so it's on very low light, so there's no infrared if you want to for low pickup. As I say, it can be used outside of a box, and the IRs can see up to about 10 meters. But inside the cameras is software which is on the board, which you can access directly using your browser or on your phone, and that software auto calibrates the camera. It's got technology like wide dynamic control, backlight compensation, DNS reduction, the highlight compensation, auto gain control. Now these are all technical terms like WDR, BLC, DNR, HLC. Now these just manipulate the qualities of the picture. So if you're looking at an entrance hole and it's overly white, that will compensate. If it's struggling to find light, it'll compensate. And if the picture's a bit grainy, it'll try and compensate to the best quality as possible. And it's got slight gain, so it always tries to adjust to give you the best picture. Inbuilt into the camera is a little IR filter. Now this is what they call filter pass. Historically you'd have a camera either with a filter on there all the time or not. This particular one is great because our eyes naturally have an IR filter which allows basically the ambient light from the sun produces enough infrared, and if we didn't have filters it would just mute the colours, so our eyes have got a little bit of an infrared filter, so that's why we can't see infrared. So of course this camera needs to see an infrared, but it also needs to have very rich colour, so it has a movable filter which is automatically triggered when it goes to low light and through the software. So it goes across the camera and then allows for much richer colours and higher definition and textures. So that's the beauty of the IR cut filter. and you don't have to control that, it all automatically does that. Inside the dome, and it's a very hardened, protected dome, so if the birds, raptors get to it, it'll protect the camera and stop it from being covered. A lot of cameras get covered with stuff, and you really have to clean it. You can just quickly wipe that, so it'll absolutely be fine. The lens itself is an f1.2, so it's fairly wide angle. It's an M12 mount. It's basically a standard CCTV mounted lens. We tend to go for the 2.8mm lens. You can have it with a 4mm lens or 6mm lens. Now, those are the lens millimeters, a bit like sort of normal static cameras or DSLRs. That a 2.8 will give you a really wide angle. A 4mm will give you a slightly narrow angle, and a 6mm will narrow angle even more. On a 2.8, it's wide, but the subject is pushed back a little bit further, so you can see a lot more in the picture. As it gets to 4mm, the subject will get closer, but you get a narrow view, and then 6 it really comes in close, but really is super narrow. So we tend to go for the widest angle and put in the camera as close as possible, so you get the best of all worlds. So that means diagonally, you can see about 114 degrees diagonally, is about 55 degrees from top to bottom and 98 from horizontal. So it's a really good, wide view. But the camera itself, or the lens itself, has got an eyeball socket. So if you mount it on the side of a box, and a lot of our boxes are all pre-mounted, so we do all the setup for you. You mount it on, you use one of these, which comes with it, a little mounting ring. So you just screw that onto the side of the box and then put the camera onto it. You just take the cover off, and then you screw the back of the camera or the bottom of the camera onto the mount, and away you go. Now if it's on the side of a box, obviously it's filming out the side. You can actually move the eyeball socket so it can tilt down, so you can actually have this camera on any angle and any position, which makes it really flexible. And that way, you can get some really wonderful views of, birds, wildlife, and things very good close-up, but really interesting angles too. So with the camera itself, it's got two options for audio. It's got a very high quality, high gain inbuilt mic pickup, using the latest sound compression technologies. Now this is all adjustable on the software, working straight out of the box. Once we've configured it's absolutely brilliant, and you won't need to sort of configure that. If you wanted to, the external connectors, you can actually connect that to an external mic as well. That's another option, especially if you want sort of a sound a little bit further away. So that's absolutely brilliant, and it's got variable bit rates for the sound, so you can actually change the qualities of the sound to be as high as quality as possible, or reduce the file size and make it a bit smaller. As I say, the connectors, it seems like a lot of connectors there. You will only probably need just the one connector, which is the LAN connector. That one is the one that connects to your router directly, via a PoE injector, which basically injects power into, that's like a brick, injects power into it. The power then travels down to the camera and then comes back, and then the PoE injector sends the data off to your router. So this is you can either connect that up to an ejector or an NVR, a network video recorder, directly. A lot of them do what they call PoE, which is power over Ethernet, which sends power down as well as data back, or a network switch which has PoE. So it's absolutely fantastic. You've got a separate connector for a DC connector if you want to spot monitor, or you want to power externally, say if it's in a remote location. We do a fantastic solar system which can connect up to this, and you can control. So that's really good. And as I say, you've got an external audio. You can put an external mic on there, so you can run audio a little bit further away, so you get a choice of what mic you wanted if you really wanted to be specific. Built-in microphone is absolutely fantastic, so you probably won't need to dabble with any of this. And it's also got an external alarm. I mean, this camera can be used, sort of CCTV, and you can have it to trigger an alarm. So the motion, if something moves across this, the camera detects it and then can trigger an alarm all by itself, which is quite fantastic, quite amazing. So it can do all that. I mean, you can also rig that up to some other counting device or an external board or something, and potentially if it's wildlife you could have it triggered or doing some weird and wonderful things. It's unbelievable. As you can see, it's fairly small. It's about 110 by 56 mil, and it's about 400 grams, so it's fairly light. It's not too bad. The weight of it is good quality metal and good plastic. As you can see, the build is really nice. The finish is absolutely lovely, and they really are built to such high specifications. They are IP rated, so you can use them outdoors, and they're very good. In and out boxes, absolutely perfect for that. As I say, we spoke about the mount. The mount just comes with a kit. You can mount it very easily, and you can move the mount and then just position the camera to the best position. The camera itself has got software built on it as a firmware. It's got we use the latest software on there, and you can access that directly via the browser or your app on your phone. And the nice thing is one of the biggest benefits is that it has all this image controlling capabilities. That you can change all the settings. You can on the screen you can put the camera name, and you can actually put date and time and change all that. You can change all the image qualities, so you can change everything from the sharpness, contrast, brightness, and everything. Also, you can flip the image and sort of play around with the image, so you can get it absolutely perfect. Also, it supports 18 different protocols, so if you're more techie amongst us and you really wanted to upload footage or singular still pictures to servers or cloud-based things, or you wanted to offload onto an FTP server, you can all configure the camera to do this. But in most cases you won't need all those. However, the flexibility is there, especially at later use. The 4 megapixel HD quality settings can be changed in the software, so you can actually change all the resolutions for the different streams. The camera utilizes the latest video compression technology. Now what that does is it gives you the highest quality video, but on the low size. So it uses the H.264 as standard, like most cameras, but it also does the H.265, which basically is a much better compression technology, and that's the future of where cameras are going. You can alter the resolution on all the streams, and also you can alter the frame rate, so you can go from sort of 30 frames all the way to 25, 15, and then invariably if you go to a lesser frame rate you can reduce the size quite dramatically without compromising the footage. And the really neat thing about the firmware, because it's really nicely built and thought of, it's flexible to be viewed on most browsers. A couple of browsers need extra tweaks, sort of like Chrome or Firefox, but it's good with Internet Explorer and things like that, so you can access it directly. You can see this camera directly on your phone, so whether you've got an iPhone or an Android, it's fully compatible. Comes free with a free app, and even iPads and Android tablets. So it's really, that's the really neat thing about it. A lot of cameras you get out there, fantastic they are, but the software is is quite very basic, and you struggle to either get them seen on different devices or get them seen remotely. It also has the facility to remotely access the camera, and that's part of the free service, and you can configure that either through the camera itself or through a recorder, an NVR, which we can supply as well. So one of the greatest technology that I haven't spoken about, it's even got inside the camera on its software, it's got built-in intrusion detection. Now if you've got this as a nestbox camera, you can draw an area of the screen where if the bird enters that, you can have it do certain things like flag up, or send you a message if an bird has entered the box, say after a long time, so you can be forewarned. And also you can draw virtual lines, so when the bird crosses that line, you could actually have it email you, message you, or even count. You can have a counter, so you could actually monitor how many times the bird comes and goes out. Now this is real fantastic stuff. You may not get into that sort of stuff, but believe you me, once you start using this camera, the quality is amazing, and you'll want to play around with all the features. Believe you me, we like playing around with all the features. So as I say, at Handykam we fully configure the camera and convert it and get it all perfect, ready to set up. We can supply it with the camera, the kit and the boxes, so yeah, just give us a shout. As I say, perfect for bird boxes, owl boxes, raptor nest boxes, outdoor use, fully flexible for everything. It's definitely the one to have, and definitely one to give you the best performance and the best flexibility. Don't forget to have a look at our full review on our website. Have a look at the link below, please do like us and follow our channel if you don't, because there's more videos coming up. And also if you want to order, have a look at our website and you can see the latest prices, and we give lots of little extras and information as well. And yeah, so I hope you like the video. We're raving about this camera because it's a fantastic camera, and it's definitely, if you love your wildlife, it's a perfect camera to give you the best quality on all platforms. So I hope you like the video. Please like the video, and follow us, and hopefully check out some of our other videos as well. Thanks for watching today.